Hi, hello, how are you?
I'm splendid, thank you.
That's good, wonderful, splendid, that's nice. I'm Professor Abdul Razak from ARI. I'm taking your interview for IELTS. Are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, that's good. May I ask your identification?
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's nice. Okay, take it back. Very nice. Well, for the part first, I would like to ask a few questions. I hope you are comfortable. Are you?
Yes, I'm comfortable.
That's good. Okay. What do you do in your spare time normally?
As you know, that a lot of people use phone and I also use mobile, Instagram and social apps in my spare time. But I do consider using them in that way that I get also benefit from that. For example, I'm watching some of the tutorials for IELTS as well, you can say, for other topics, for other subjects that I have to cover in order to gain the enough information to get into the leading universities.
Do you get bored sometime from this one, or it's okay? You feel alright?
Yeah, I got some bored sometime.
When you become bored, what do you do then?
When I become bored, I usually, you can say, go for outing or go anywhere I want it. Except for using the phone, I just go to my mother, talk to her, and just confess about my day.
That's great, right? How do you spend your time before going to the bed?
It's a very interesting question actually. It depends upon the day and varies on the day. Actually on Friday I do prefer reading Quran before going to the bed, but I also read some of the books. The book I'm reading now is actually Smarter, Faster, Better. It is a book which tells you how you have to handle certain things, and that's why I'm also reading the book, and beside reading the book I do prefer walking before I sleep.
That's good. So what do you do in your weekends normally?
In my weekends, I usually go to my relative's house or go on outing with my friends because my whole week is very busy and I take the day, I dedicate my day to my parents, my friends and as well as my relatives.
What's the best time to sleep? How do you think that the best time to sleep?
I think the best time to sleep is actually 8 or 9 after you have prayed. But I do prefer that you do not have to sleep much earlier. But because it depends upon the struggle you have to do. The person who sleeps early actually cannot get anything from his sleep, because you can also say that a person who just sleeps early and wake up early is a good person, but for success you have to sacrifice something, and I think you have to sacrifice your sleep to a limited extent according to your mind.
Do you believe that early to bed makes the man early to rise?
No, I do not believe that personally, because it depends upon the person how he thinks about it. Some kind of person I know sleeps very early but they wake at 10 at afternoon.
So you don't believe that early risers are more wiser? Do you believe?
Yeah, I believe early risers are more wiser than others.
Okay, that's good. And you are?
Yeah,
also one of them?
Yes, I'm also one of them.
That's nice. Okay. How do you manage your daily tasks?
Actually, it's a very difficult question, you can say. It's a very difficult situation for me to manage my daily tasks. Actually, I ended up making the schedule for that, but I did not follow the schedule. What I came up to, actually I made a schedule which was actually 1 hour ago than my timing. So I'm not following the whole schedule, but most of the schedule of mine is followed.
Okay, that's nice, that's good. Would you explain the best movie you ever watched recently?
If you're talking about my recent experience, I watched a movie about, it's a a movie about a Russian Empire. It was a very interesting movie because it just tells us the history, and I just imagined myself in the history as you can say as a member, because the king and World War II, all the events happen in that specific.
So it was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
What was the net result you actually got from it?
It's a very interesting result I've got.
Yeah.
I think you do not have to marry a woman which is from your opponent. The king do so. He just marries a German woman, and they got a fight with Germans.
So do you think that it will happen in your practical life as well? Could we think like that?
Yeah, we could think like that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, the last question from this one. Any place on earth you would like to go? Still you haven't been there, so you would like to go there.
Actually, if you're talking about my dream place, which can never be imagined, because I want a peaceful place, a lot of, you can say, it's my imagination. And I thinking to go to Switzerland or any other country. Like I live in Kashmir and it's a paradise. I do not have to go anywhere. But still I think so I have to go to a place where there's a peace, calm, and there's a lake nearby, a lake flowing nearby, and also snowy mountains. Also.
Very good, very good. It was the end of the part 1.
Okay.
Now we are turning to part 2, and you will have to see this question that I have written here for you. You will think it for 1 minute, and then you will have to speak on it, right? This is an historical place you visited recently, name of the place, anything they are written below. This is, and you will write your own, notes over here for 2 minutes speak at least.
Okay, the place I visit recently was actually Faisal Masjid. This was built by Shah Faisal, which was the king of the Saudi Arabia then. It depicts the relationship between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, which are very good and friendly. If I talk how I went there, actually we have gone to outing with our family and friends. We have a gathering. So we've gone to the Faisal Masjid. The beauty of Faisal Masjid really admires me because it's a masjid, it's the biggest masjid you can say of Pakistan, and having a sculpture, its pool, as well as at the tomb, as well as the minaret really fascinates me. It also depicts the history as well as the mountain view, which is called Damaneko. I also enjoyed watching that view from there. And when you just go upstairs in the Faisal Masjid, you got a Quran when you see. It's a very good to see and good looking. And what I observe from this experience I've got from this is actually the way of designing an architecture which has been involved in the making process of this special mosque. This mosque is very beautiful, and I do visit it again and again because this mosque has a lot of tourists, and as well as the reason I'll tell you to visit that mosque is because the beauty and as well attraction of this mosque. And moreover, talking about all the aspects of the mosque, you also get a view of the mountain as well as a mountain view beside the mosque. It seems so beautiful that it is eye-catching view. And if you talk about the whole mosque, it's made of marble, and you seem a little bit sleepy on that mosque, but still you have to walk on that floor, and it makes you more comfortable. And moreover, being a so large mosque, it's a very clean. I will also tell you about the shop which is in the Faisal Mosque, and I do go to the shop, but that's so expensive. But still, they have a lot of Islamic and historical books which I will love to read.
Thank you very much. That was nice. You performed it well. Now we are moving to part 3rd.
Yes.
Are you ready to put question for part 3rd?
Yeah, sure.
That's good. Nice. So here are a few questions just to end up. How do you manage when you become depressed?
Yeah, it's a question that you asking to me. Actually, I've gone to depression, so managing depression is very important and very difficult because you are actually into that thoughts, or you are a person who always thought about the previous thing that have been happened to you. But still, I've got a lot of work and I've made a lot of friends in order to communicate with them, to share my experience, their experience. If you share your experience, that will make you comfortable that you are not the only one who is the prey of that disease. There are a lot of person, and if you are the victim of the depression, you have to work for that and educate people that it is not a much bigger disease than you thought. It can be controllable.
That's good. How do you break that psychological cycle which a depressed person feel?
Yeah, breaking a psychological cycle totally depends upon the person who is facing the depression, anxiety, or all these psychological situations. If he is willing to break that thing, he will. If he is not willing and he is happy in living that place, he will not. So I will just suggest a workshop for that kind of people and different schools and colleges to educate people about depression, because it's a very rare disease.
How do you think that there should be some medication as well?
Talking about medication, so I do not think so that there should be any of the sleeping pills we use or any of the medication. Like, there are a lot of examples of the medication that have been used, but I do not think so. But talk and you have to express yourself in order to avoid depression.
How should we manage our big desires, the desires of life?
Yeah, the management is actually a very complex process which a person cannot do, and we do not learn in college as well as school, like money management and all the management, because desires are actually related to money. And it's true that you cannot fulfill your desire on your money, you have to fulfill on your father's money, because on your money you can fulfill only your needs but not desires. So I think so if you have to fulfill the desires on your money, you have to work harder and hardest till you have to succeed and you have got all the things you desire.
Should we obey all desires?
Yeah, we should obey all desires, because it actually depends upon the person. Because a person evolves day by day. So if a person has the desire when he was 18 years old, but now he is 50 or in mid 50s, then he'll think that desire was stupid. So it depends upon the people how they think.
Thank you very much. It was nice. Okay. Allah bless you. That's good.